This guy's like,
Gen Z,
you own it.
what do I give that makes you think I'm a timeout?
Like I used to sing all the time, all my free time in school.
Hey, this is the Kenyan Life Podcast. My name is Justin Mureti, and we're in the stew with, I don't know if I can say my greatest friend.
You said we're in the stew.
We're in the stew.
We're in the studio.
Dio. It's a Dio.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Katie.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Great to be here. Thank
What?
you for inviting me.
You're happy?
The Kenyan Life Podcast.
You're excited?
Think about Kenyan life. All of a sudden, that's just come to mind.
A lot has come to mind.
A lot.
But you know, the Kenyan life has so many things.
Good things.
And bad things.
Not bad. Tough things.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Bad. Well, if you're going to go by the last couple of days,
Weeks or months. Actually, even a year.
Yeah, we're clocking a year since
whatever happened.
What happened last year in June.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm here with Cate. Let me do a bit of like a background of Cate. Cate is a radio presenter at Kiss 100, mid-morning show. She's very fun. Let me tell you.
We need to be fun. I would hope I am.
She's very fun, let me tell you. Because when I met Cate, she told me,
You look familiar.
Yeah. And I never understood why she told me I look familiar, because it didn't make sense to me. I never knew Cate before.
Okay, am I the first person to ever tell you you look familiar?
I feel so, yes.
I am.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like that's something people tend to get here and there?
Well, it's familiar. Not the first time. I've got it a couple of times in school, but not like randomly at a stranger. Because I knew you.
I knew you. Did you get what?
I get you. Anyways, Katie, the reason you're here today is because I just want to find out. Kenya has so many things going on.
A lot.
Too many things.
Capital letters, a lot.
But there's one thing that has always had, like, you know, it has been rolling around in my head. Do you really know your neighbor?
Do I know my neighbors?
Yeah, your neighbors.
Like
in
an apartment block.
Unaweza omba sukari na upewe?
Siwajui, by the way. I do not. Is this weird? I don't think I'm the only one that does not interact with their neighbors unless we're at the lift. Hi, good morning. Hi.
Okay, you see now Cate lives in an apartment place with a lift. This is this is an interesting.
But yeah, I don't know my neighbors' names. I can tell you what time my immediate neighbor leaves the house every morning.
Yeah.
7 a.m. Leo ametoka 7:20 something. And
so you know when he's late.
Yes, and I was sitting in the house like, you know, I was getting ready myself and I'm like, umechelewa. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what this guy looks like. Name. Nah, we don't interact.
But don't you think, like, if you don't know your neighbors, there's a sense of community missing out? Because I was thinking about it. If you look at it, you have your friends, right? Your friends are your community. But your immediate community should be your neighbors. You know?
If you consider your neighbors of that much importance, I think that's what it comes down to. My neighbors, like, there's no reason for me to interact with them at any point of, you know, us bumping into each other. Maybe that's why I don't put too much emphasis in knowing who you are. For what reason? Do I need sugar? I can go to the supermarket down the road and get sugar. Do I need, let's say someone once asked me, what if you need help with something and your neighbor, I would assume I can still come to you if there's a situation where I need to knock on your door and be like, ata kama tujuani, but you know I live next door. Could you help me with ABCD? But sense of community in apartments, is it really there? Maybe in like a neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, with like, I don't know, standalone homes, I would feel like maybe there's more of that. But in apartments, I think a lot of people are very private.
So it's not good to know your neighbor?
Maybe I don't want to know my neighbors. Maybe I don't want them to know me.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's another side, because what do you mean
why
you don't
do you
know?
want to know me? So there's a place I used to live, like before where I am now. And I remember bumping into my now immediate neighbor, and he actually he asked like, what's your name? Like, hi, you know, he's opening his door. I'm getting into my door. And he was like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then he asked me my name. And for some reason I lied. I didn't say my real name. I just said a name. And then he was like, okay, nice to meet you, Samantha or whatever. And then when I got into the house, I was like, it makes no difference if I told him a fake name, a real name.
But what if you are abducted? You know, especially at this time.
Samantha for B alishikwa, not Kate for B.
Sasa Samantha ni nani? Like if they look at, let's say for example, the what is it called?
If the caretaker knows my name,
yeah.
The askaris, the management, I think that's more than enough people in the building.
But don't you feel like there's a sense of community you're missing out on?
No.
Do you
nope.
Where you live, do you guys have like after like end of year apartment?
So one was
parties?
organized at the end of, actually, when we were doing into the new year, the first week of beginning of this year.
Yeah.
No. People went, of course. I didn't take myself. I wasn't too sure. It kind of feels like you know too much. Take it as this. You know, your home is I don't know how many people take their home as a very sacred. You know, once I am in my home, not anyone can just come in or know where I live. I don't really like telling people even where I live. Very specific people know those details. So I feel like you know it, like just interacting with people in a place where it should be very just private to me almost feels like I'm losing this privacy, having drinks with you upstairs, telling you life problems and you know. So to me, at least this is to Cate.
This is to Cate,
very
obviously.
Much to Cate. And I'm sure there's people that are like, yes. I agree.
There's probably people who would say yes, and I'd like to find out where you are. Like, do you really know your neighbor? Because me, for example, I know all my neighbors. Yes,
all of them?
All of them along that road, the estate we live in, because it's like standalone houses, you know? Same thing you said.
I've only lived where I live currently a year and a half. Maybe there's another thing. I've not been there like... Where our family home, we know all our neighbors. There's a difference. There's actually a clear community difference. Where our family home is, tunajuana sisi wote. So like I said, maybe in a standalone, like you've just said, in a standalone home settings, it's easier to have that because people have been in that neighborhood longer.
So would you welcome your neighbor coming to your place and say, hey, see, we hung out?
No.
But see, they're trying to make an action to know you.
Why?
Because, Cate, someone can want to know you.
The only reason you want to know me is because we are neighbors.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I want to be friends with my neighbor.
I don't want to be friends. Why are you forcing me to be friends with my neighbors? So I was crazy enough, I was actually having this conversation recently with a different person.
Yeah.
And they were saying they do that. She was even like, last night my neighbor was having a shindig and she went over this morning. Like they just frequent each other's homes. And we were like on the complete opposite sides of
the spectrum.
I would never do that. And she's like, I do that every 2 days. Like, that's no.
See, it's getting to know your community when there's like a kafaya or there's something. And then they can help you.
When there's a fire, the caretaker will help. But your neighbor will not help you if there's a fire.
Well, I mean, like they don't know you like that.
That's a crazy reason to want to help someone in a fire. Like,
mi sikujui hivyo.
Sikujui, sikusaidi. Like, no.
But I feel like there's a lot of benefits to knowing your neighbor. Kwanza kuomba sukari. You know, if there's a time you need sugar, you can get sugar.
Kuna apps watakuletea sukari kwa nyumba.
Glovo.
Anything you need.
You got it. Aya, basi. Sasa we move on from that. Neighbors can give you a sense of relief, you know? Like when you get home and maybe you're having like a long day and then your neighbor knocks on the door like, hey, do you want to hang out today? And then you're like, no, I'm not feeling the Then they're like, why? What happened?
Okay, coming back to my neighbor is not who I would go for that. Like if I'm in a bad mood, it's a Friday night and then I've come home on that Friday night to be home alone.
Not to get to know people.
Actually, if I wanted guests, I'd have friends over or something. Not people I really do not know. Let's see, actually, neighbors wabaya. They're lovely people. Like I said, we meet each other in the parking, kwa lift, just highs. Everyone seems I feel like everyone seems very much like me.
So everybody
in that building.
Do you feel like it's a neighborhood thing, or do you feel like it's just like people there? Because some apartments are very close to each other, like people
people minding their business.
But sometimes I feel like Kenyans mind their business a little bit too much.
Too much?
Yeah. Because if your neighbor is
all of a sudden I'm thinking of this Nyumba Kumi initiative. You remember all that?
Yeah.
That was like get to know your 10 immediate like is that what it was? Get to know your 10 immediate neighbors or whatever.
Yes.
Just kujuana to. How quickly did that just dwindle away?
It depends with where you live, as you said.
It depends on where.
So now my question is like not even just a build up on it.
Mm-hmm.
As in, I feel like we mind our business a little bit too much to the point of where like you're not caring about your neighbor. Your neighbor might be being like he's being beaten to a pulp by the partner. And nobody comes in and says, hey, nini inaendelea.
No, but that's the thing. If that was to happen tonight, God forbid,
yeah.
I heard that, I would find a way to address it. I wouldn't just ignore it because I don't know them. I would find a way to, if I'm not knocking, or I tell the caretaker to be the one to be like, please go and check out what's happening next door. It doesn't mean because I don't want to know you.
You won't come through for them.
Yeah, not at all.
But not everybody has that mentality.
How many neighbors have come and been like, can you help me jumpstart my car? Yeah, sure. I don't know which floor you live on, your name, your age, national. I don't know you.
Yeah.
I'll help you jumpstart your car.
That's how it is.
Thank you. All right, cool. Have a good day. And I'm off.
Wow. Never a cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Si chai kidogo. Kweni chai kidogo ni vibaya.
Sasa unaongeza. Una force issues.
Let me tell you my honest opinion in this. I feel like neighbors have been such an important part of my life. That's why I think I'm very into this. Because
do you live alone?
No, I live with my folks.
Maybe that would change.
When I live alone?
Yeah.
Okay. That's something to think about.
I could kind of care less about my neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless, like I said, if there's a situation that requires my intervention. But otherwise...
It's just hi.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay. I feel
Why? Because most of my time, I'm not spending in the building.
Yeah.
I'm at work or you're at whatever, ABCD chugulis you have. You're only coming home to...
decompress.
That is me. That is, once I open my door, I'm always just like, nobody talk to me. Nobody knock on my door unless I know you're coming. And it's just now like it is literally it's a bubble.
Okay. Interesting. I don't think I can argue with that anymore. I feel like I can't even move you.
Are you trying to make me cook for my neighbors tonight or something? Y'all want to come for dinner tonight?
Yeah,
let's get to know each other.
Exactly. Maybe when I start living alone, probably it will change, but I don't think so. Yeah.
If you were you also mentioned like maybe it's if you're if you live in an environment where there's a bigger population of people. Okay, let's say maybe in this there's. I don't know. I'm trying to picture. I can't pick a particular location, but just let's say it's a highly populated place.
Yeah.
Families, couples, like there's just people living in these apartment blocks, but there's maybe one guy that unamonanga too, like what the hood always see ulemse. Aongeleshangi watu. Mbona nani aongeleshangi watu? Like everyone in the neighborhood, not those that actually interact with each other. Sawa na msengenya. Like why does alafu ataanza kusema ni maringo ama no, he or she just does not care. He's just here because this is where I live.
He wants to mind his business.
This is literally where I live. Because this is where I live does not require me to know you.
I find that crazy. Like my honest opinion is like
I
find
want to ask
people in the studio.
Yes, I really do.
But you see, it's the same thing. Like if you carry it over to the office.
Okay.
Because we've been fortunate enough to like work together in the same environment. You come and we everybody like hi. Not everybody, certain people. Let me clarify on that. But on the other hand, when I was there, like I used to say hi to like everybody. So I feel even if I would live alone, it wouldn't be like I don't want to know my neighbor because I would find a way to get to know my neighbor.
Like you'd go out of your way.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah. because I feel like we're not meant to be just a human being somewhere living their own lives and stuff.
No, but that's literally what
like that's the
people
sense
that
of
are
community.
in my house are my friends, my family, like people I want to choose to hang out with. You don't hang out with people just because. Literally, you're telling me just because they're your neighbor.
It's not even about hanging out, like completely hanging out. It's like
Kujua.
I want to get to know who you are, because you might be living with a serial killer. Ama you're just minding your business as long as they're not serial killing you.
So I did once have a neighbor that was very constant loud music.
Yeah.
Constant.
Yeah.
Like in the same building I'm in now. Constant. Not once did I knock on his door to request him to turn down his music. You just go through the management, like literally it's their job to do that. I would probably be more uncomfortable if I went and I knew now my neighbor hates me because she's knocking on my, like, no, I'm not involving myself. You don't need to know the complaint even came from me.
Yeah.
It was a complaint. Doesn't matter from who.
That's interesting.
And it was dealt with. He was kicked out.
Oh.
Months later. Never knew his name. Never once had to be the one to tell him to turn it down.
Wow. Me, I'd be there, kong.
You
By
would?
there, you and your music. Because again, now I don't care. Like I don't actually care that you're playing high music. Like I don't care that you think I'm a bad neighbor or I'm gonna say like tell on you and stuff. Just reduce your music so that we can live together. Be considerate, because again, as the community we're in, it's the community. Care
Every
about
community
other people.
has a chief, sindio?
Yeah.
Some mkiwa na shida mnenda kwa chief. Ama
Si
kwa-
lazima uende kwa chief.
Ama kwa estate, whatever.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Amani Homeowners Association or whatever.
And they'll deal with it on your behalf. And then you really save yourself.
Well, I guess it's just different ways of tackling things. Because I feel like if you want to do something, do it yourself. Complain to this person, like, boldly. You're like, hey, please be considerate of others. Then after that, if they don't take action, you now officially say, yes, we need to involve HOA,
Involve you straight away.
caretaker. So you don't want to go
Excuse
through
me,
bushes.
hi James, can you kindly tell house number to
2A that his
and that I can show you literally
his
show you
bongo.
these messages, and it's dealt with.
wow.
10 minutes later, you'll hear the music turned off.
Yeah.
I didn't have to leave my house.
And you didn't have to inconvenience
I
yourself.
didn't have to go through that emotional standing at his door, like
Yeah.
my nose flaring and
Okay, I guess it's one way of doing things. All right then, Cate. Like I'm just like, all right then, like we can't
Guys, we need to know. I need to know. I don't know about Justin. Justin was making me feel like I'm a crazy
She's a
woman.
cruel neighbor. She doesn't care about neighbors.
No, it's not being cruel. It's just wanting your privacy where you live.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I think a lot of people, and I'm very curious. I'll be coming to check out
The comment section on YouTube.
I really will.
TikTok.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When you crucify if I'm a bad neighbor, but I don't think so.
I'll actually, when the episode releases,
Sorry,
we'll
let
do
me
a poll.
add on.
Yeah.
We'll do the poll. Let me add on. The neighbors I have, they've never come to me. So there's a point. Everybody's minding their business.
But this
Nobody has ever been like, I'm having a soiree, come on. Like, no. And we're not like 3, 4, tukoengi.
we need that domino
Nobody.
effect. That's you.
I'd probably move out.
Anyways, Katie.
I thought like, James, people keep coming to my door, inviting me to dinner. I want to leave.
You want to leave. You want to say bye-bye. But anyways.
I'm moving out tomorrow.
Katie, it's been fantastic to have you. And knowing that you don't like talking to your neighbors.
I prefer not to know my neighbors. Not that I don't like talking to
Yeah.
them. We do talk. I've met amazing people.
Yeah.
Actually, those elevator conversations,
Yeah.
interesting people. And it's like, okay, it's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Next time I see you, hi. Are you good? I'm like,
That's it.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
It works.
So Katie doesn't hate her
It
neighbors.
works. I appreciate them a lot for being sensible beings, actually.
And also minding their business too.
I love it.
That's fantastic. Sign me up. But me, if I was Kate's neighbor, I'd be there, kong. Kate, hi.
Na wenjo tutakufukuza. Tutambia management. Justin.
Anasumbua. All right, Kate. Thank you so much for coming.
Awesome.
I'm glad you were here. I'm glad we talked about this because ilikuwa inanisumbua sana.
Really?
This neighbor thing.
Let me add, I never want to be your neighbor.
Please don't.
May that never happen.
Kira said basically, mimi siwezi kuwa neighbor mzuri. I beg to differ and I'd like to find out, do you know your neighbors? And if you don't know your neighbors, would you go that extra mile to get to know your neighbors? Kate is just looking around.
Talking to me.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please do by all means follow us on our socials at the Kenyan Life Podcast on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook as well. And you could find this content on Spotify and many other music streaming platforms. Streaming. Anyways, do take care of yourself, have fun, and subscribe and like. Ciao.